Hello, dear Pisces. Hope you are doing well and staying fab. As always, this is Jamie, if we haven't met, and welcome to Soulvine. So, we're checking in today to see what's kind of happening the week ahead for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is a timeless read, so take what resonates. And being timeless, it is also general in nature, okay? So this is not going to be for everyone. So let's get the overall energies of what we can expect for the week ahead, and we'll dive in further to see the further details and what you need to know. For Pisces, thank you. Okay, we've got shadow, spiritual strength, memories of love, harmony, rejoice. Let's just get one more for the overall energies. Overall energies. I'm loving this, Pisces. This is looking so good for the week ahead. As I said, we're going to dive in further. This is just how the spreads come out, so there's something different. But wow, okay. What I really feel is happening, there's a massive transformation for those that are connecting, I think, one, to a significant relationship. I mean, we've got three major arcanas here, okay? The shadow, harmony, and fertility. So harmony is kind of like the lover's card in some essence here. What I'm finding when I connect in this, the first message that's coming through, that for a lot of you that have been learning or discovering a lot about yourself, finding different sides of you that maybe, you've been trying to maintain or control, thinking that, being upset or angry or having a lot of feelings is not okay. And maybe you've been trying to hide that part of yourself or trying to get it under control. But this is a really beautiful thing. With I feel like something's awakened here, like you've really connected to yourself. We need our shadow side. Our shadow side is a great support when we learn it, when we understand it, because it helps us grow. And I feel like that's what's happened here with this spiritual strength. There's been something significant that has grown for you because you've learned how to, it's not like necessarily talk to yourself, but learning how to connect into yourself, connect into your heart space, connect into your mind, to the higher version of you, and how to, take a step back from situations that you recognize maybe a little bit, feeling uncomfortable or feeling like at times you're not yourself. And sometimes we can feel frustrated with ourselves when we're like, why am I responding this way? I don't want to respond this way. Why am I getting upset? But I feel like there's a situation in your life that has kind of pulled this out, but it's a great thing. It's a very great, powerful thing for you, Pisces. And with memories of love, this is also like parts of you that are remembering what was, but connecting to it to really kind of master, again, deeper parts of yourself is what I'm getting. So with harmony, rejoice in celebration and fertility, I feel there's a connection that's really coming strongly into balance, but back into harmony as well. And not just from this harmony card, in rejoice in celebration, I feel like there's some rekindling here, and an opportunity to birth anew, for things to start again and connect into this heart space essence of whatever this relationship was. Maybe there was someone, a significant other or a person that is part of this connection here that had a lot of expanding and growing to do for themselves. Maybe that was the shadow part that had to deal, they had to deal with something of themselves, parts that they didn't want to look at, parts that they didn't want to get honest with themselves. And if you were looking onto this and it wasn't you going through this experience, you would have been like, holy shit, like this is hard, like dealing with this person. And especially taking on a lot of their stuff, because a lot will be projected a lot of the time, and people expressing things that can seem a bit ugly, right? But there's something here that you've done powerfully, Pisces, in this spiritual strength aspect. And I just want you to know you should be proud of yourself. I'm just seeing like things lighten, things beautify, and finally come into this harmonious balance that you've been seeking, where there's connection and igniting the depths of this relationship for something more connected, like I said, in this heart space. I feel there's a lot of healing occurring and a lot of newness opening up here. And it's a very warm, wonderful welcome is what I am getting here. So let's have a look at the overall energies in terms of like going a bit deeper and seeing what's coming on in. See, I mean, exactly here, Pisces, Queen of Wands, the Empress, and the Devil energy. So, and if we look at this with the shadow energy, because that's where I was connecting in, this is you leveling up from the Queen of Wands to the Empress, a beautiful level up in who you are, what you've done, where you're going. Okay. But maybe the person that, like I said, that you're dealing with, challenge this growth of yours because they, two parts, maybe weren't growing at the rate you were growing, but it could also be too that you had to go through this transformation to go from the Queen of Wands to the Empress energy. There's something here related to someone's growth here, someone's expansion. I just feel it was challenging. I think there was just so many things being thrown at you, kind of like this spiritual warfare aspect, you know, where you're constantly being bombarded and tested and you're not understanding the test, and maybe you were getting a bit frustrated with, you know, the universe, with Jesus, with God, whatever it is for you, and like trying to understand. But I feel like this was, you know, an expansion at the same point, but you being really tested by different aspects of your life. And sometimes it's that person that comes in to test those things of you, to see how far you can grow, to see how far you can expand, to see how far and how much you can do to see what's going to penetrate your mind to make you kind of go behind. But instead you grabbed hold of it. Amongst the up and down energy, you grabbed hold of it and kind of went, F it, I'm leveling up. I'm not allowing this to take over me. But I feel like it was a significant battle, and I don't blame you. But what I love about here is this spiritual strength that's coming up. And it could be too, this shadow energy is, you know, someone in your vicinity that has been really just, like I said, I just feel like this challenging, unfriendly, and unexpected communication or experience you've had with this person who's sitting in this shadow energy. I'm trying to figure out if this is your own internal battle, and it could have been both ways, because when someone's projecting a lot of crap on you, it's a test of time. But there's just so many things I think that was going on here, and I do feel this is in the past energy and you're kind of moved through it, but it's still lingering a little bit. Okay. Just someone was going through, I don't know, like a whole lot of, maybe even like kind of, I'm saying crazy thoughts in essence of like saying things that were kind of like ridiculous or really challenging your thinking and going, what is coming out of their mouth? Why are they saying what they're saying? Like this, I don't know who they are right now. I'm just kind of getting like this ridiculousness that was kind of being expressed and you were stuck in. But you've like leveled up. You've leveled up big time and taken this experience as like, I'm going to grow from this. I'm not going to allow this to break me down. And I'm liking that, Pisces. So having a look at the spiritual strength, you've got the Page of Cups and the Two of Cups. I think there was this part here, Pisces, with this energy that you had to really look and go, what am I getting from this connection right now? Because what I'm getting is not enough. Sure, you can offer, you know, what you want to offer. You can communicate that you care and that you love me. But whatever it is in terms of your dynamic, but at the end of the day, you know that it needs to be two people coming together kind of at the same velocity, the same depth, the same desire, the same values. And I feel like this was a lot in question, and you had to dig deep within yourself to learn how to love yourself even greater, because you were being challenged in a lot of like worthiness at some point, I feel. Let's get a little bit more here. Thank you. Yeah. And I feel like this is where the strength in holding on took a lot here with you or for you, Pisces, and maybe you're still in it right now, but I just don't think someone is and has been as invested into this connection and dynamic, and hence why you might be in question of this connection, because it's just like, if you've been trying to bring the worst out of me at moments, that you have with this devil energy. If you have been helping me try to test me on, to grow and whatever, yep, you have. But now that you've kind of moved your way through, I just feel this like real strength that you have attained here. And now really looking at, I can invest in me, I can love in me, I can give to me, and I can choose what I want, and someone else isn't going to choose that for me. But I also feel your patience here, which is really interesting. In a beautiful way, I feel the patience of just focusing on what you want to nurture and what you need to nurture, because until you get that investment in return, you're just not going to give there. You're just not going to give there. Let's get more on this memories of love. Thank you. Thank you. So memories of love, 2 of Wands, the 5 of Cups was showing up, and then the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like this is where plans just didn't kind of work out the way that you thought. This connection didn't work out, or this dynamic just didn't work out the way that you wanted, and it's kind of left you a little defeated here. Because at the end of the day, there was this truth of 10 of Pentacles energy here, right? And maybe that's what you're trying to look towards or work out here, of how do you get back? How do you get back here? Because there's a lot of sadness, not just with you, but between you. The 10 of Pentacles is where it's all connected. The memories of love is what you guys had or where you guys were. But just, connecting on here, there's a lot of sadness in between this. And trying to make plans is not an easy thing to do. I feel there's this part of, like I said, holding on, feeling what you're feeling, but then how do you then go to the 10 of Pentacles? How do you recreate the 10 of Pentacles? And I feel like that's kind of what's in the feeling and in the air around this connection right now. So this might be like kind of the center stage of it all. Let's have a look at this harmony energy, because you've got 2 sixes. So there's a lot of things coming into balance is what I feel here. So we've got the 5 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, the 9 of Swords, and the Hermit energy. So again, there's this part of you just feeling, I'm getting defeated, and, parts of question of like, where's it showing up? When's it going to show up? And then it questioning, even if you want it, because it has put so much pressure on you, sleepless nights, questioning, I think even parts questioning yourself, like, why are you doing this to you? Why are you still considering this? Because I feel like this is in, you're considering, I had this. So when this comes, what am I going to do? But I'm also over it. So I think that there's lots of contemplation here about this connection, but this is the state that they put you in with this 5 of Pentacles, okay? You've got the 5 of Cups there. So maybe too, there was some aspect of finances where you kind of felt a lack of support. But you want this balance, you want this connection, I'm not saying necessarily you want this, but ultimately underlying, that is what you wanted. You wouldn't get into a connection or into a dynamic, right, to not want it. I mean, that would be kind of silly here. But I think there's, dreams and hopes that we have of things coming together and working out. But we all have enough at some point, right? We all have enough where we choose to claim back our power. And I feel in some regard here, you already started doing that over here. When we look at this energy with the devil energy, you kind of leveled up. For some of you too, there might have been another connection that kind of got in the way of this, an unhealthy connection. If it was one, and it was, an intimate third party, I think there's a realization that it wasn't going to work anyway. It was unhealthy and it was toxic, and it was just to fill the gap, whatever gap that was. I don't feel it was like a real in-depth connection. I think if that was your case, don't take it if it wasn't yours. But in two parts, there's different sides of you, and I think you've also grown through this, Pisces. But there was a point in time here where maybe this is where you are now. You're kind of pulling back into your shell and really assessing what it is that you want, because as much as you want this to come into balance, you need to see effort. You don't want to be just challenged by someone's way of words and expressing how they feel and all that, which is wonderful, but then not giving you anything, right, to actually prove it, to show you that. And I think this is where you're kind of maybe pulling back a little bit with this energy or with this experience. Let's have a look at rejoice in celebration. Because this must be some communication here or understanding of something coming back into balance, coming back into connection here with both the memories of love and the harmony card. But again, I'm just seeing that they aren't offering you yet, and it's kind of frustrating you and keeping you up, because I feel they're giving you the words, but they're not backing it right now. So let's have a look at rejoice in celebration for Pisces. What do we need to know? Yeah, so it seems like they're going to come and communicate with this Page of Wands and this Justice energy. And again, seeing things balance out, but getting to the truth of what's going on here. Because, again, you can't keep promising or expressing things just to express it, to validate, that you still care or that they miss you or they feel sad. That's great. So what are you doing about it? And that's, I think, what is the big elephant in the room right now. That's great. I'm glad you miss me. I miss you too. So what's going on? So I feel like there's going to be some communication here, whether you're going to bring it up and address it, for the reunion, to reunite, to come back into harmony together. I don't know who's going to have this conversation, but I just feel this is going to come up, to get to the truth of what's going on here, to really understand. But we're looking at, with the star energy, this is getting back on the same page and choosing to heal together. Or going, if we're not doing this together, then I need to now step away to know what I'm working towards and get honest with myself and do what I need to do. So this could work in both parts, but whatever way this conversation comes in, it's going to give you like the ignition and understanding of what you need to do next, Pisces, okay? Because whether it's with them or whether you need to do this on your own, you can't heal fully in one way or another until you kind of get that clarity and understanding, okay? And it's got to come in both parts. They might be feeling the same way you're feeling, Maybe they don't have their shit together, and you don't want someone who doesn't know, right? But do you give them patience and mercy because they're going through some dark night of the soul shit? I don't know, but I'm just feeling here you're going to get some clarity and truth on, but we're seeing like this is about a connection. This is about reuniting together is what I am gathering here. So let's have a look at this fertility energy, please. What do we need to know with this fertility energy? So we've got the Ace of Cups. We don't read reversals if you're new here, just to let you know. We've got the World card and the Chariot. I'm liking this, okay? Especially with the fertility card. This is about rebirthing. This is about igniting, something new. And with the Ace of Cups, that's about a new beginning in love. So where is that love going? We do see this, this heart chakra energy showing up here. We see the egg, like something has been, what do they call, I'm just trying to think when the egg's laid, there's a saying, I'm trying to think of the scientific term. Is it germinating? I don't know if that's the right word. But basically there's growth here, okay? There's growth happening here for something new. But what's important here and what I'm connecting to is your thoughts are what's going to birth to. So be mindful of your thinking. as well, because that is pretty significant in terms of connecting to your heart space to receive it, but also to bring it to life. It takes, I mean, you think for a baby to grow, you know, and using that term in terms of birthing something, for a baby to grow, all the elements that it takes. You know, you think of, you know, first the egg and the sperm, right? And then blood, food, water, like all the things that I mean, gosh, I don't know. I mean, I've had a couple of kids, but there's so many pieces that come together with the body, mind, and soul, right? And spirit. So yeah, I just feel there's so many elements going on right now with this creation of something. Yeah, and things are taking a turn, things are shifting, and it seems like things are moving forward quite quickly. So, if there is a reunion of some kind here with a certain person or a situation, I do feel like they're going to come in quite soon once you guys get super clear or there's a real conversation to be had. It's only when this real conversation to be had is going to put you guys either on the same page, give someone clarity on what it is that you need, Pisces. They're going to give you maybe some feedback on what they need. And then you guys need to decide on whether this is, you're going the same way or you're not. Sometimes, yeah, patience is required, but that's a choice to make. If you've been invested in a significant relationship and you are getting buy-in, but they don't know what to do next, that's the scenario. But if they're just like disinterested and not respecting you and kind of not even really engaging with you, I mean, that's a totally different story. So you need to measure up, you know, one, the way someone, you know, if you know them well, you know how they operate. Sometimes go back to when you started dating. You know, it can tell you a lot about a person. Sometimes people need time to really get to know you. They need time to, that, you know, some people are just like, I get to know you, I get to know you, I get to know you, but when I'm in, I'm in. So if someone has been challenged and is not feeling really safe, they might be really slow to engage and they're happy just having conversations and then maybe, you know, going out here and there. It doesn't matter if you've been married to them or not. You know, everyone has the way that they operate that makes them feel safe. But if you know that they're in and how they operate, you know, so kind of just check in there to get honest with yourself, but honest in conversation, because I think that's going to give you a lot of clarity on the path, on direction of healing and coming together, or choosing to you make a decision and go, no, this isn't for me. But whatever is happening, I am seeing this newness of energy coming in to this connection, something that seems to have healed in whatever patterns were happening, okay, and an opportunity for a new beginning to occur. Again, this could be with them or this could be with yourself and doing your thing here, Pisces. But whatever's happening, it's moving forward. It's not going to stay still if you've been stagnant, or if you've been feeling stuck and unsure and in hermit mode, waiting and kind of estimating what to do next. This, all of a sudden, you're going to see this movement forward. So maybe that's what you'll find at the end of the week. I'm going to get the moon energy for some final messages for you, Pisces, and we will wrap up. All right, what else do we need to know for our Pisces with this connection? Hold your vision with the fixed moon, and then we've got it's time to take action. One more for our Pisces. And I'm not sure if some of you watch the Super Bowl, especially if you're in North America or in the US like myself. Pretty intense game, close call. But yeah, I hope you had a fun time connecting with people or just watching it yourself. And then we've also got don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about. The pride aspect is sometimes we can make hasty decisions because we think we deserve something or look at something this way, more around expectation. Okay. So just be a little bit mindful of that, to be gentle on yourself, because sometimes there's a difference between standard and expectation. Okay. Because expectation is where we can let down a lot if we're expecting someone to do something and then they don't. So just be mindful of that. But, withhold your vision. It's time to take action. You know, I think this is about being true to you and what you actually want in this relationship. what you actually really want, and then connecting with this person to come to some clarity of what that is. And I think that's part of the action here. And we're seeing this with this Page of Wands energy. That's action in terms of communication, taking action to communicate. So I think once you do this, again, try and really be gentle on yourself and not have expectations, because when we do, I just don't want you to get hurt if you're not hearing what you want to hear, because then sometimes when we're responding more out of anger because we care so much and we're not getting what we also want and need. So I feel there's healing here, there's clarity coming, and things are going to move forward. It's just deciding which path and which direction, and if you guys can get on the same page to really give you that understanding of what's going to be happening, and perhaps what choice you want to make, Pisces. I'm going to leave that with you, dear ones. Appreciate you, and connect soon. Bye now.